man sits alone in a room. Nothing unusual about him. He checks the time, looks out the window. A bird crosses the sky. A cloud drifts past. Sunlight reflects off a distant rooftop. Then he looks away. The moment disappears forever. Most people don't think about moments like this. They seem insignificant, disposable. But something strange just happened. For a brief instant, a tiny piece of the universe was witnessed. And one day, that will stop. Not for one person, for everyone. Somewhere in the future, there will be a final human being. The last conscious observer our species will ever produce. The last mind capable of looking outward and saying, I see. When that person opens their eyes for the final time, what will they see? A dying Earth? A black sky? The ruins of civilization? Most people assume the answer is obvious. It isn't. Because the future scientists have uncovered is far stranger than almost anyone imagines. The last thing humanity sees might not be the end of our planet. It might not be the end of our sun. It might not even happen anywhere near Earth. In fact, to answer this question, we have to follow a trail that leads beyond the lifespan of civilizations, beyond the lifespan of stars, beyond the lifespan of galaxies, and into a future so vast that the entire history of humanity becomes shorter than a blink. What we discover there is unsettling. Not because humanity dies. Everything dies.
Look around you. The room you're sitting in. The sky above you. The screen in front of your face. It all feels normal. But for most of cosmic history, none of this was possible. Nearly 14 billion years ago, the universe emerged from an event we call the Big Bang. Most people imagine an explosion. That's not what happened. There was no empty space waiting to be filled. Space itself was expanding. Everything that would eventually become stars, planets, oceans, trees, and people existed as an unimaginably hot sea of energy. And for hundreds of thousands of years, the universe was effectively blind. Light existed, but it couldn't travel freely. Photons constantly collided with particles in every direction. The cosmos was filled with light, yet nothing could be seen. Then, something changed. As the universe expanded, it cooled. Atoms formed. Space became transparent. For the first time, light could move freely across the cosmos. Scientists call this moment recombination. But the name hides something extraordinary. The universe had opened its eyes. Suddenly, ancient light began a journey that continues even now. Some of those photons are still traveling through space today. Some are passing through your body right now. Yet even then, there were no observers, no eyes, no minds, no consciousness, only light wandering through darkness. The universe could be seen, but there was nobody there to see it. That would take billions more years. And when observers finally appeared, everything changed.
Imagine standing on a beach. A grain of sand rests on your fingertip. Now imagine every grain on every beach on Earth. The number is almost incomprehensible. Yet compared to the number of stars in the observable universe, it is tiny. There are more stars than grains of sand, more planets than stars, more opportunities for life than humanity once dared imagine. And yet, after decades of searching, we have found no confirmed evidence of another civilization. This creates a mystery known as the Fermi paradox. If intelligent life should be common, where is everyone? Nobody knows. Maybe intelligent civilizations are extremely rare. Maybe they destroy themselves. Maybe they are too far away. Or perhaps consciousness itself is one of the rarest phenomena the universe has ever produced. Which means something uncomfortable. The universe may be mostly empty of witnesses, a vast ocean with almost nobody watching. And if observers are rare, the final observer becomes incredibly important. Because one day, somewhere, someone will inherit the responsibility of witnessing reality for the last time.
Most people think humanity's greatest threat lies in war, or artificial intelligence, or climate change. Those dangers are real, but they are not the final deadline. The true deadline hangs above us every day: the sun. Right now, it feels eternal. It rises every morning. It has done so for billions of years. But stars do not live forever. Inside the sun, hydrogen is being converted into helium every second, a slow nuclear countdown. The process is stable, for now. But over the next billion years, the sun will gradually grow brighter. Earth's oceans will begin evaporating. Temperatures will rise. Complex life will struggle. Eventually, the planet will become unrecognizable. And roughly 5 billion years from now, the sun will swell into a red giant. Mercury, gone. Venus, gone. Earth, possibly swallowed entirely. The world that produced Shakespeare, dinosaurs, satellites, and you, erased. Yet this still isn't humanity's ending, because if our species survives long enough, we will leave. And the future beyond Earth is stranger than science fiction.
Imagine humanity spread across thousands of star systems. Not one world, millions. Artificial habitats orbiting distant suns. Entire civilizations living between stars. To us, it sounds impossible. But so would modern civilization to a medieval farmer. The laws of physics do not forbid it. If humanity survives, expansion may become inevitable. Civilizations that remain on a single planet face extinction. Civilizations that spread endure. Over unimaginable stretches of time, our descendants may move from star to star, harvesting energy, building habitats, and adapting to environments we cannot yet imagine. For a while, it may seem as though humanity has escaped death itself. But the universe is patient, and eventually, even the stars begin disappearing.
Stars are temporary. Every star you have ever seen is living on borrowed time. Some die violently, others fade quietly, but all of them die. Trillions of years from now, star formation will slow, then stop. The cosmos will enter a new era. Astronomers call it the degenerate era, a universe populated by stellar corpses, white dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes. The great age of sunlight will be over. Imagine a future where no new dawns occur anywhere. No blue skies, no sunsets, no forests illuminated by morning light. Only darkness, interrupted by ancient embers. Humanity, if it still exists, would inhabit a dying cosmos. And eventually, even those remnants fade. Which leads to a disturbing possibility. The final thing humans see may not be a star, because there may be no stars left.
Scientists still debate the ultimate fate of the universe. But one leading possibility is called heat death. Not an explosion, not a collapse, a fading. Energy becomes evenly distributed. No useful work remains. No structures form. No new complexity emerges. The cosmos approaches perfect silence. If humanity survives until these final chapters, the last observer may find themselves in a universe almost entirely dark. No galaxies, no stars, no planets, only isolated remnants drifting through unimaginable emptiness. Then, perhaps, somewhere in the distance, one final source of light, a dying black hole. According to physicist Stephen Hawking, black holes slowly evaporate through a process now known as Hawking radiation. The larger the black hole, the longer it survives. Some may endure for numbers of years so large they barely fit inside mathematics. Yet, even they must die. And when the final black hole evaporates,
It releases a final burst of energy. A brief flash. A last spark. A tiny rebellion against eternal darkness. If a conscious observer still exists, that flash could be the last thing humanity ever sees. Not a face, not a planet, not a sunset. A dying black hole in an otherwise empty universe. The final lighthouse in a sea with no shores.
perhaps that is the strangest part of all. We spend our lives believing we are small, temporary, insignificant. Yet the universe has spent nearly 14 billion years producing something capable of witnessing it. You, me, every conscious mind that has ever existed. The stars created the elements. The planets assembled the chemistry. Life emerged. Consciousness awakened. And for a brief moment, the universe became aware of itself. One day, that awareness may vanish. The final observer will look outward. The final image will appear. The final thought will form. And then, for the first time since consciousness emerged, there may be nobody left to see what happens next. The universe will continue, but the story of observation will be over. Not because reality ended, but because the witnesses did.
What do you think humanity's final view will be?